This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Alright, these flying buzzards of the people are going to be met, and we're going to force them to be friends. Hopefully. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of The Longest Journey. The last episode finally made our way to the island. Luckily, it's not the mysterious island of Dr. Moreau, although, you know, the way you look at it could be close. But anyway, let's see if we can find a way to find these Altians. Let's go talk to the stickman and see if we can figure out how that, you know, bow works, or crossbow, or whatever you want to call it. So,
Wick's busy working on the cannon. It's Stickman Woody. It's Stickman Willow.
we got all of them.
Can't talk. Busy.
You know, you can actually, no, multitasking isn't really a thing, so.
I'd be happy to talk to you later, but I got some fine-tuning to do before I'm done.
Well, if we utilize this, we don't want bad things to happen, so that's probably for the best.
How's it going?
Almost there. Oh, one tiny little problem, though.
And that is?
We don't have a bowstring for our,
Propulsion drive mechanism, Wick.
what he said, yeah, we need a bowstring. Something strong and flexible and sinewy.
Like what?
I don't know, lady. I'm no engineer. I'm just a supervisor.
String made from animal guts would be perfect.
Yeah, but look at us. Do we look like the kind of stickmen who'd make good hunters? Do you see me going after a gate beast carrying what, a cone? A dry leaf sharpened to a razor edge?
I mean, that would be funny, I guess. So, a long string, I wonder.
How's it going?
Nah, we're missing a bowstring. Can't finish the job without it.
String made from animal guts would be perfect.
Okay, just saying if they had anything new to say. Alright, well, basically, if you haven't already figured out, we need to go to the Quaman and go get his fishing line. So hopefully he's caught a fish by now. Ah, looks like he's gotten lucky.
It's Quaman. He looks happy now that the Orloa let him have his old fishing spot back.
A happy giant man. Yeah, I guess the lure did work, so.
Did my lure work okay?
It'd be working very good. Quaman catch a large, tasty fish very quickly. April be wanting a taste?
No. No offense. I'm just not too fond of seafood.
This not be seafood. It be human food.
Seafood's good for you, man. Has omega-3 oils and all that fun stuff. And, you know, it's good for fatty foods. Gotta eat those fatty foods.
What's Quaman gonna be doing now?
Quaman be sitting here until the sun sets. Then he be going to sleep.
And tomorrow?
Quaman be deciding that when he wakes up in the morning.
Man, you got relaxing down to a fine art.
Quaman not be knowing anything about fine art. He be a Philistine.
I'll see you later, Quaman.
So will I. Goodbye.
Yeah, who's really living the best life when, you know, every day you rest and relax, eat and just survive, and then you have that everyday nap like a siesta? We must learn from the Spanish and their ways.
Looks like Quaman just had himself a solid lunch. That was quick. There were only bones left of his catch.
I mean, look at the bones! Yeah, let's grab some bones, shall we?
Fish bones.
Fish bones, fish bones. Hey, fish
It's an
bones,
old
fish
fire.
bones. I don't know where I was going with that.
The remains of Quaman's catch, and a very convenient shape it is, if I may say so. Like a hook.
Uh-huh.
It's Quaman's fishing rod. I don't figure I'll be needing the rod anytime soon, but I'll borrow the line.
Yeah, we need that for the bowstring, so.
It's Quaman's fishing rod.
Okay, anyway, yeah, I got the fishing rod.
It's a long, strong, and flexible fishing line. I borrowed it from Quaman's fishing rod.
But didn't you say he was fine? So why would you put borrowed in quotations?
I'll see you later.
So will I.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it's in quotations when clearly he said it was okay to take the fishing Or at least use the fishing pole, so... Nah, I guess we kind of... Okay, wait. Back to the giant tree. Because now, we have that bowstring. We can give that to Wick. The Wick man there. Whoops. Wick man. Very, very lick man. Or I don't know,
Can
sick
you use
man.
this as bowstring for your, lunar cannon?
Let me see that. Oh yeah, that gonna work good.
All right, listen up. I got us what we need. And now we finish this damn cannon. Go to work, people. Give us a few minutes, lady, and we'll be all done.
It worked.
Of course it worked, you wood-brained fool. I built it.
You know, the Stickman Wick kind of reminds me of Vizzini from Princess Bride, which is not a bad thing. Too bad they could have, should have sung a jaunty tune while doing it. You know, whistle while you work. Yeah, I can't whistle very well, but...
It's Stickman Wick.
Alright.
Are you done?
Yes, ma'am. The lunar cannon is now ready to be tested.
Well,
Well, what?
are you gonna do it?
Do what?
Test the cannon.
Me? And get myself killed? I think not. But go ahead, be my guest.
I don't think I'll fit in there.
That ain't my problem.
Of course, it's another problem we have to solve. Great.
Can I test the cannon?
Be my guest.
We'll put your crazy lunar cannon to the test. Hopefully it doesn't actually blow us to the moon like it's supposed to.
According to Wick, it's a lunar cannon. Apparently, it's powerful enough to send a stickman to the moon. Oh, sure, in a Jules Verne novel, perhaps.
Oh yeah, those are very interesting books depending on how you look at them. Some are pretty interesting. Some can be a little boring because like half the books are him explaining the science of the times of how that should work. And obviously some of them worked, like, you know, the submarines and stuff like that. But then there's others, like, there's one about just men getting the moon within like a month with like, it's called like The Men of Mars or something like that. That was an interesting book. But they're definitely worth listening to just because the man had a general idea of science that, you know, that people recreated, you know, years later. It was kind of fascinating. But anyway. All right, so we can't just use it.
It's the stickman's lunar cannon.
Yeah, see, it won't let us just use it. We have to do something with it to get it to work. So, all right, we want to combine the fishbone with the rope to combine to form.
The rope's got a hook-shaped fishbone tied to it.
All right, we want to use that on the lunar cannon.
I'll just place the hook along the bowstring, like so, and let the rope trail behind it. Okay, we're ready to fire.
All right, here we go.
Can I test the cannon?
Be my...
Okay, I was just saying if there's anything else. All right, well, you got to hit the lever there. Pull the lever, Crunk. Yeah, that's all that is. All there is to it. So, all right. What the? There they are.
It's a leathery creature with wings, like a mix between a giant bat and a pterodactyl. It must be one of the Elation. It looks more like a warrior than a storyteller, though. I hope it speaks English. I mean, Alton.
I mean, it's basically English for all intents and purposes.
There's a slight updraft here. The wind is channeled through that chasm down there and blown out and up here.
Wind, huh?
Dust and dry leaves caught in a strong updraft.
I wonder. If there's anything else to interact with.
Dust and dry...
Okay. Yeah, I won't let you jump over or anything like that, so...
Can you help me across?
You are human, and we don't allow human strangers into our village. If you wish to trade, Let us know where your ship is anchored, and we will send traders to you with our merchandise.
I don't have a ship, and I didn't come here to trade. I came to talk to your leaders.
I'm sorry, but we don't allow strangers into our village.
Well, he's pretty well spoken for a guy that maybe talks to people all the time.
Actually, I am a trader.
Where is your ship anchored?
In, Coconut Grove?
There is no coconut grove on Elias.
Not that you know of.
So, I'm not a trader, but I am a friend of the Elation people.
We don't know you. There is no friendship between strangers, human.
Why not?
Don't your people have a prophecy about a stranger who comes without a ship, or something like that?
I don't know of any prophecies, human.
This guy's yanking our chain.
What kind of prophecies do you know about?
We don't tell our stories to strangers.
God, this guy's just being annoying.
What's up this road?
The Elation village of Tamar.
And?
Where's the Elation village of Tamar?
Up this road and into the volcano.
Awesome.
Isn't it dangerous to live inside a volcano?
This volcano has not erupted for thousands of years, and the gods protect us. We are safe here.
Where's your god now, Moses? Oh, wait, I should say that if anything bad actually happens.
Is there another way to get into the volcano?
No. This pass is the only way.
I'm sure there's a secret cave somewhere that leads into the volcano.
No, there isn't.
There's always a secret cave.
Not here.
You know, kind of like that, the whole and all adventure in RPGs, there's always a cave behind a waterfall.
Are you absolutely sure there's no secret cave?
Human, you talk too much, even for an elation.
Thank you.
Yes, but you must leave now.
Sorry, dude, that ain't gonna happen. So, alright. Let's use the wind potion. Let's see, where are you at? There it is. Use that on the updraft.
That's the last of it, unfortunately.
Alright.
Dust and dry leaves.
Okay, well, anyway. Now we need to light as a... Whoops. Light as a feather. Drink it. It's not the Alice in Wonderland
Oh,
stuff.
God, I think I'm gonna throw up. That was so not appetizing. Weirdest thing, though. I do feel lighter. Like I lost 90 pounds. I can't even imagine what people would pay for this stuff back home.
It's like Manjaro, Ozempic, or something like that, right? Just in the magic world. Ta-da!
Human, you flew across the chasm. You don't have wings, but still, you fly like the elation.
Believe me, I'm as shocked as you are.
Are you the Windbringer?
Sure, why not? What's the Windbringer? Yes, I am.
I know who you are, but what am I?
Me? No, I'm just a guardsman. I only have one story, and my wings do not yet support me for more than a day's flight. You are the Windbringer. It's said that someone not of the elation shall come among us to float on the wind like an elation, to learn our stories, to bring the wind back to us, and to bring us into a new and happier age.
Is that all? You know, I'm starting to forget how simple my life used to be. Family, friends, grades, boys, no prophecies, nobody looking to me for salvation.
I don't understand, Windbringer. You should speak with our teller up in the city. She'll be wanting to see you, I'm sure. We've waited for the Windbringer for a very long time.
The teller? Thanks.
No, Windbringer. Thank you.
Alright, here we go. Let's go get this. Let's go tell them that we're the Windbringer. Not the Lightbringer, that's a different person. A much different person.
It's an elation. Thanks for your help.
You should go see the teller. She'll want to speak with you.
So he didn't do anything, not really. Actually, did I? I'm trying to remember if I got a... Okay, nope. Just making sure I didn't have a diary entry that I might have forgotten to read since last episode.
Nature's reclaiming lost ground. The contrast between wilderness and civilization is such a striking image. I almost wish I had my canvas and paints with me now.
Well, it's too bad. You're the windbringer.
The flowers will one day cover the walls in ruins, and man's creation will be forever lost to nature.
Nature always finds a way.
When the city was inhabited by its original population, that tower was probably an important one, part of a temple or a palace. Now, though, it's just another ruin.
Just one of many.
The tower has toppled, though what caused it, I can only guess. Disuse, perhaps, or an earthquake.
Who knows?
The tower has...
Okay, wait. Anything else? Nope, okay.
It's an old man, I think. Difficult to tell, since they're all kind of wrinkly.
You're judging there, April.
Hello.
Good day, stranger. What would you hear among the elation?
I need to speak with the teller.
The teller? Go down into the city and you will see the castle. The teller, she keeps to the tower. She's old and her eyes don't take well to the sun.
How's that work?
Hello.
Did you see the teller yet?
No.
Then you should.
Do the plot, lady. Like you're supposed to. Alright, anyway, let's go into the city. Quote unquote. That seems nice. Sort of. Kind of.
It's a nest. They don't all seem to live in nests, though. There are quite a few inhabited buildings in this village.
But nests are so comfy.
An elation nest. Why is he perched on top of that pillar?
They do all types of strange things.
It's a little elation girl.
How do you know it's a girl?
Hi there. What you doing?
Playing?
Yeah, what are you playing?
Nothing. My daddy's in the castle watch. He's allowed to sharpen his claws.
Really? My daddy owns a farm.
Yeah? Do you have animals there?
Sure. He has some cows and some horses and...
What's cows and horses?
Well, cows are big, brown, fat animals with 4 legs and white spots. And they go moo a lot.
And horses?
Horses are fun to be around. They run really fast and they can jump over tall fences and they look beautiful and graceful. But the best thing about horses is that you can ride them.
I can run fast, too. But I can't fly yet. My wings aren't fully formed. But when I grow up, I'll fly far away and see everything. I'll go see our horses.
That would be nice. My name's April. What's yours?
Saina, will you be my friend, April?
Of course, Saina, as long as you promise to be my friend.
I promise.
Don't make promises to kids you can't keep, you know. That makes you a very bad person. Ride me like the... I was trying to say about riding horses. I was going to say, like, ride me like the wind bullseye or Falcor or whatever. Or not Falcor, Artax, whatever. But, oh yeah, about Artax. Never mind. We don't speak of that.
Do you know where the teller lives?
Over there in the castle tower. My daddy's watching the entrance so that only nice people can get in.
Do you think he'll let me in?
I don't know if you're nice, but you have to ask my daddy.
After the whole situation with the ship, April, I don't know.
Where are the other children in your village?
Oh, they're in school now.
And why aren't you in school?
Because I'm ahead of everyone else. I'm really smart, you know. I'm the only youngling to have learned the first tale this soon. So Sundays, I get to do what I want. It's a little boring, though. I wish I was in school. At least there I could sing and play and jump around with all the other children.
Kind of reminds me when I was in Gifted and Talented. We did some interesting projects, but yeah, it was almost like, we must expand your smartness. You can't have fun. I mean, I kind of had fun in a way, but, because, you know, I'm weird. I don't like the standard stuff that a lot of kids liked as a kid.
Why don't you go to school anyway?
Because they say I would just distract the other children who are still learning their first tales. It's not fair. I mean, I get to play by myself and everything, but that's not fun all day. And my mommy's working on her pottery at home, and she doesn't want me disturbing her because she might make a mistake. But the day after tomorrow, I get to go back to school, because then we're going to learn some more flying lessons. They're always a lot of fun, and I'm getting pretty good at that too.
I bet. I wish I had wings like you do.
Yes, they're very good to have when you fly.
Have fun, Saina.
Are you leaving?
Yes, I'm sorry, but there are some things I have to do.
Grown-ups are always too busy.
Yep. True. Life imitates art. Or something like that. Talk to some other people. See if there's anything else to interact with. Nope. Okay.
It's a young Elation female working with clay.
That must be the mother.
Be careful, don't come too close. I'm almost done with this pot.
Sorry.
Are you here to buy pottery? I didn't think traders were allowed up here.
No, I came to speak with your teller.
Really? I didn't know the teller spoke with anyone from the outside. You must be a very special girl.
Supposedly. My name's April, by the way.
Nima is my name. Nima of Ta'ama. The only Elation village on Elace.
Ah, excellent. Well, that makes things easier.
I like your pottery.
It's our craft. That and storytelling. But storytelling can't buy merchandise or food.
I know a lot of people who live by telling stories, although I guess that's kind of different.
They are lucky then. Not that I don't enjoy making pottery. It's good to feel the wet clay between my claws, to shape it into whatever I wish. It's almost like creating a new life, I think. I don't have a husband yet, so I haven't tried. Have you? Do you have a husband and children?
Neither, thank God. I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
I was 18 turnings this spring. I'm ready for a husband, but I've yet to court anyone who could make me soar on the winds. I think the men of Ta'ama are dull and timid.
What about the guard on the road below the village? He's our age, isn't he?
Isam? He's quite pretty, and his wings are big, but I don't think he likes me. He never looks at me or talks to me.
That doesn't mean anything. He could just be shy.
Maybe you could talk to him, find out who he likes, but don't say I sent you.
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you, April.
Thank you, Nima.
You're welcome, April.
Matchmaker, make me a match. Catch me a catch. Yeah, so, is it every game you always have to match make people together just because?
It's Nima.
Anything else?
Hi, Nima.
Hi, April.
Bye, Nima.
Goodbye, April.
Okay, just making sure. I can understand the appeal of clay pottery. When I was in Boy Scouts, we used to do stuff like that all the time, and there's something about making something your own. Putting it
Who would visit the teller?
Putting it in the churn and then heating it up, and boom, you've got yourself a really crappy cup for your mom that hopefully she appreciates. If not, well, I feel bad for you then. But, I'm the Windbringer. No.
My name's April.
And what would you with the teller, human?
I'm not sure, but I need to speak with somebody in charge.
The teller is our teacher and our mother, but she will not speak with foreigners who walk into our city. And how, pray tell, did you get here? The road is closed and guarded.
It's got to be my female charm.
It will not work on me, human. Please, leave our village and return to your ship.
Yeah, you've got no female charm there, April. Sorry about that. Have you seen your CGI counterpart?
I look like a real sailor.
All right. Anyway.
Why is he perched on top of that pillar?
'Cause he wants to.
Halt! Who would visit the teller?
It is I, your god.
I've come to trade with your people.
Traders are not allowed into our city. Return to your ship, and we will send an emissary to negotiate.
I don't have a ship.
Then how did you get here?
Long story.
And not one I care to hear. Leave our village and return to your own people.
No one wants to make this easy, do they?
Halt!
Okay, yeah, I'm the Windbringer.
I'm the Windbringer.
The Windbringer? You are not the Windbringer. Are you?
How else would I have been able to get up here? I am the Windbringer.
If so, you must prove that you are of the Elation. There are 4 tales from the 4 corners of the world that you must know by heart. They are the tale of winds, the tale of stars, the tale of sea, and the tale of homecoming. I will ask you 1 question from each tale, and you must answer each correctly, or you cannot be the Windbringer. Are you ready?
No, we're not. We don't have the actual tales yet, so.
No, give me some time to prepare.
Then return when you are ready, and I will test your knowledge of the 4 tales.
Alright, we need to talk to the other people here about that, but let's go back to the guard. And get started on this whole tale thing, you know. Tell me a tale, old man.
Do you know one of the 4 tales of winds, stars, sea, and homecoming?
Mine is the tale of winds, Windbringer. Do you wish to hear it?
Very much.
Then I shall tell it. This is the tale of winds, my tale, and I pledge to tell it in my own words, as told in turn by my teacher. In the village of Karan, in the mountains of tall winds, there lived a young Elation woman named Iwana. Iwana had one desire above all others, to soar higher and farther than anyone else. And even though her wings were no broader, nor her body sleeker than anyone else's, she pursued this foolish desire without rest. And as time passed, she did soar higher, and she did fly farther than the other young Elation in her village, and her name became known far and wide amongst the tribes of the mountains of tall winds. But still, Iwana was not happy. She was not happy because, in her vanity, even though she was a better flyer than almost everyone else, and to her eyes, she was still not good enough. She wanted to be so much better than anyone else that she would be remembered for all time as the best flyer amongst all the Elation. And so one day, Iwana decided to climb to the top of Mount Bakta'ana, the Tower of Light, and to soar from those giddy heights to the ends of the world. Her friends and her family pleaded with her not to, because every Elation knew that to soar from such heights was dangerous, that at such heights the air was thin and the winds treacherous. But Iwana would not listen, and on a cold and clear morning she climbed up the Tower of Light to the rock and the ice at the very top. From there she could see to the ends of the world. And it brought tears to her eyes to know that now, finally, she would be greater and better than any Elation before her. And so Iwana spread her wings and leaped off the mountain. Those who watched her from far below said that for a split moment Iwana soared, and she soared higher and farther than any Elation before or since. But then the treacherous winds caught a hold of her, and the thin air made her plummet towards the ground, and to fall to her death amongst the rocks at the base of the mountain. In her vanity, Iwana could not see beyond her desire to be the very best. And vanity always stands to fall. That was the tale of winds, my tale, and I told it in my own words, as told to me in turn by my teacher.
An interesting tale. Thanks for telling it. 1 down, 3 to go.
So, Isam, that's your name, isn't it?
Yes, Isam of Tamar.
A good-looking guy like you must get a lot of attention from the girls, right?
Are you asking me for courtship?
Me? No. Wings don't do anything for me. No, I was just thinking, maybe you had your eye out for somebody special?
I'm without a mate. The women of Tamar are cold and unfriendly, and whenever I try to talk to one of them, she ignores me.
Huh. Even Nima?
Nima? No, she's too pretty for me. She won't appreciate my attention.
This is like high school. Trust me, Isam. You go talk to her one of these days, and I'm sure you'll find you have a lot in common. Just be yourself, okay?
You think so? Perhaps you are right. I will do as you say, Windbringer. Thank you.
Thanks for your help.
Man, these people have too high of standards, dude. That's weirdly a problem today. Like, people have their standards are so high that they don't realize what they're missing from staring their nose up to the sky. Anyway, let's talk to this old dude. Tell me a tale, old man.
Do you know one of the 4 tales of winds, stars, sea, and homecoming?
Mine is the tale of sea, human.
Would you mind telling it to me?
I would be happy to do so. This is the tale of sea, told in my own words, as it was told to me by my teacher in his words, and to him by his teacher in his words. This was a very, very long time ago, when the Elation were a strong people, and we could spend days riding the hot winds above the seas. We hunted fish then, and we were at war with the Merum, the Wet-tails. Akalis was one of the strongest warriors there was. His claws were sharp and long, his beak pointy, and his teeth strong. Akalis was admired by everyone in his clan, and because of this, he was cocky and arrogant. So one day, the teller of Akalis city asked him to perform a very important and very special duty, to bring a sacred jewel to the teller of an Elation town across the sea. This particular jewel was very important because it signified a union between the 2 towns, and it would benefit the people of both that it was delivered safely and promptly. Akalis grinned and told the teller that he would deliver the jewel both quickly and safely, and that she was not to worry. But the teller did worry, because Akalis was young and too sure of himself. But she wanted to test him, and to teach him that sharp claws, a pointy beak, and strong teeth are not all a warrior needs, that a warrior must also be wise and careful. So Akalis set out across the sea on his flight. It was on the 4th day that he spotted something in the water that caught his attention, and forgetting his duty and following his curiosity, Akalis dived towards the water to investigate. When he came closer, he saw that there were Merum in the water, foolishly hunting close to the surface, and Akalis saw an opportunity to again prove his might as a great warrior to his people, and to capture the fins of a few Wet-tails. But this time, Akalis' arrogance got the better of him, because the Merum had set a trap. As he dived towards the Merum with his claws, a spear shot up from the water to hit him. Akalis struck the water and dropped the jewel he was carrying, and it was all he could do not to drown. Akalis was bleeding, and the Merum were grabbing onto his wings and his legs, but he fought bravely, and finally he managed to escape. But even though he now lived, he was dead inside, because the shame of losing the sacred jewel would always be with him. Akalis could not return to his village, because he had neglected his duty to his teller and to his people, and so he went away to a small island where he could be alone. To himself and his people, Akalis now became the lost one. He who had been on a sacred mission, but had failed in his arrogance. A year passed, And one day, Achilles met with human traders from a ship that came close to his island. From the traders, Achilles heard speak of a hideous creature that lived in the sea, the octowoe. The octowoe was said to have a third eye, like a jewel, and that this eye pulled hapless sailors into its deadly 8-armed grasp. Achilles knew immediately that the octowoe's third eye had to be the jewel that he lost in the sea a year ago, and he now saw the opportunity to redeem himself. But Elation were not used to water, and the thought of submerging himself in the cold, harsh ocean chilled Achilles to his heart. But he was the lost one, and if in his death he could at the very least redeem himself, to his own heart then it would be worth it. So Achilles fashioned himself a spear, because in the water his claws and his beak would be too slow, and he flew out to where the octowoe was last seen. And then Achilles dived into the sea. The dark water closed in on him, and his wings and legs went numb. But still Achilles kept pushing down until he saw the lair of the octowoe. Spotting Achilles, the octowoe attacked, and Achilles saw the monster's third eye, his sacred jewel, shining bright in the darkness, and his heart was filled with a sense of duty and courage that he had never felt before. But as he began fighting the 8-armed monster, Achilles realized that if he were to fight like he usually did, he would not stand a chance. He would have to think differently. And so Achilles tricked the octowoe into following him through a tight chasm where the monster got stuck. And then he swam above it, and using his spear, tipped a rock on top of the octowoe. Swimming back down again, the octowoe was flailing helplessly. Now, almost out of air, Achilles took the sacred jewel from the octowoe's head and swam back up. Finally, Achilles could deliver the sacred jewel to the town across the sea, and upon returning to his village, he went to the teller, bowed his head, and said, "Forgive me, teller, for in my arrogance I thought I could do everything. But I could not, and I became the lost one because of it." "You were lost," said the teller, "but you are no more. Because now you see the limits of your own strength, and you will know that a warrior must be careful and wise, in addition to being strong and fierce." This was the tale of sea, and I told it in my own words, as told to me by my teacher.
Thanks, Pierre Fernandez. Yeah, that's the guy who voices the old Elation there. So 2 down, 2 more to go. So, all right, now we have to talk to the rest of the Elation. So let's talk to the child. The child here is voiced by Andrea Bowen. She voices one other voice in the game. Andrea, see her claim to fame. She's well known for being from Desperate Housewives, GBF. She was also in a couple episodes of King of the Hill and Scandal. Last thing she did was Hail Past Nightmare a couple of years ago. So not a huge ton of roles except for the Desperate Housewives stuff. But anyway, let's talk to the child and learn another tale. Because she does know one. She told us so.
Hi, Saina.
Hi, April.
Do you know one of the 4 tales of winds, stars, sea, and homecoming?
Yes, my mommy taught me the tale of the stars. It's a really pretty story. Do you want me to tell it?
Please, Saina, I would like that very much.
Okay. This is my tale, the tale of stars, and I tell it to you in my own words, as it was told to me by my teacher, in her words. In the small village of Jinjay near the rumbling hills of Onion, there lived a girl called Mona. She was a curious girl, and she would always get in the way of grown Elation. "Go play somewhere else," they would say to Mona, but she didn't want to play with the other children. She wanted to be where the grown-ups were, to see what they were doing, and learn from them. But one day, after getting many complaints from the pottery makers and guardsmen and traders and soldiers in the village, Mona's mother told her that she wasn't to interfere with the grown-ups anymore, and that instead she could go play with the other children, or sit still and draw or work with clay. But Mona was always curious, and now, since she wasn't to be among the grown elation anymore, she decided to go exploring the forest that lay just outside of the village of Jinjay. She had many times been forbidden to enter the forest because it could be a dangerous place, but Mona was very curious. Of course she wasn't planning on going far into the forest, but then her eye caught sight of a white flufftail hopping through the tall grass, and Mona, curious as ever, gave chase. The flufftail ran away into the forest, and Mona followed, blind to where she was going and interested only in catching the white flufftail so that she could keep it as a pet. But then, after a good while, the flufftail disappeared into a hole in the ground, leaving Mona alone in a small clearing, somewhere deep inside the forest. She was exhausted after running after the flufftail for so long, and as she looked around the clearing at the unfamiliar trees and flowers, she realized that she hadn't been paying attention to where she was going. Not for the first time her curiosity had gotten the better of her, but this time it was serious. Mona was too young to fly, and she had very little sense of direction, and chasing the white flufftail had made her dizzy and tired. It was getting darker, and Mona was all alone in the deep, dangerous forest, too sleepy and too scared to be able to go anywhere. Mona curled up with her wings wrapped around her under the leaves of a tree, and began crying. Soon it got really dark, and somewhere, not far away, wolves started howling at the moon. Mona was so scared she was petrified, but after a while her exhaustion got the better of her, and she fell asleep. She woke up when she heard a voice calling her from somewhere far above. Looking up at the starry sky, Mona saw a vision of the spirits of 5 tellers gazing down at her. "You have let your curiosity lead you astray," said one. "You are lost, and you deserve to be lost," said another. "Poor little girl," said a third. "We will help you home," said a fourth. "But remember this," said the 5th spirit. "We will lead you back to your village and to your mother only if you promise us one thing." "I promise," said Mona. "Whatever it is, I promise I will do it." "Very well," said the 1st spirit. "You will make the story of this night into your own tale, and you will call it the Tale of Stars." "It will be a tale to warn the curious to be careful," continued the 3rd spirit, "and to not let their curiosity get the better of them. And," said the 2nd spirit, "to remind the elation that the spirits of their tellers watch out for them when they most need it." And so the spirits of the 5 tellers guided Mona through the forest, and by dawn she was home. And Mona did tell her tale, the Tale of Stars, to everyone in the village, so that everyone would remember that the curious must be cautious, and that the spirits of the tellers are always watching. This was my tale, the Tale of Stars, and I told it in my own words as my teacher did to me.
That was a beautiful tale, Saina.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Saina.
You're leaving again? I wish you could stay.
Me too, Saina, believe me.
You know, you think a kid's voice after a while would get grating, but they luckily did just enough with the synthesis that I wasn't annoyed by doing that. All right, one more person now. Technically, if you want to skip all these, you can. All you have to do is when you answer the questions, just choose the 3rd option every time, and that's all you need to do to solve this, but I wanted to show off everyone's dialogue. Anyway, the young Galatian woman is voiced by Julia Murney. She voiced Emma earlier, and I think another voice we've run across earlier, but anyway, let's talk to her, get her tale, that'll be it.
Hi, Nima.
Hi, April.
Do you know one of the 4 tales of winds, stars, sea, and homecoming?
I had to learn the tale of homecoming. It took a long time, but I think I got it now. I'm better with pottery than I am with the tales, unfortunately. Do you want to hear it?
Please.
Very well. This is the tale of homecoming, my tale, and I shall tell it in my own words as told to me by my teacher, in her words, and by her teacher in turn. Moran was a handsome young Elation man with strong wings and a hardy beak. He lived below the white cliffs, where the water was salty and the fish plentiful. Moran was betrothed to Anara, the loveliest girl there ever was. She was fair and slender and tall, and her eyes were the clearest shade of blue. But Moran was hesitant to enter into union with Anara, to become her husband and to give her children. He would always come up with a new excuse for why they had to wait a little while longer. Now, Anara was skilled at pottery, but even more so with stories, and the teller of the village had many times asked Anara to be her apprentice, to learn all the tales, so that someday she could take over as the teller. But Anara refused, knowing that if she did accept the teller's offer, she would never be able to marry Moran, because a teller cannot have a husband nor children of her own. Her refusal to become the teller's apprentice was unheard of, because who could refuse such an honor? But to Anara, love was more important. Her love for Moran was beyond honor, beyond reason. But despite Anara's love, Moran was still hesitant. And then one day he told Anara, "I am traveling on a pilgrimage to the far shores. I will be gone for some time, and while I am traveling, and in accordance with our traditions, I will be freed from our betrothal. Not until I come back will the bond between us be renewed." It was not unusual for a young Elation man at that time to go on a pilgrimage, and the bond between the betrothed would often be cut while he was away, to be formed again upon his return. But Anara was heartbroken, because she had thought that Moran would soon want to marry her. When Moran saw her tears, he said to her, "Do not weep. When I come back, I promise I will marry you. Just wait for me, and stay with your pots, to make the time pass quickly." And then Moran left on his pilgrimage to the far shores. Many years went by, and Moran had exciting adventures on the far shores. But by and by, he began to long for home, and for Anara, and now he had finally realized that he loved her, and that he wanted to marry her. But when he returned, he could not find Anara amongst the potmakers. He went to visit her family, and they told him that, after waiting for many years, Anara accepted the teller's offer of apprenticeship. And that when the teller left on the last wind during the previous winter, Anara herself became the new teller. Angry, Moran made his way to the teller's nest, and when he saw Anara, he said to her, "You promised me you would wait." But Anara did not say a single word in answer. She just turned around and lifted something wrapped in leaves from the cot behind her and gave it to Moran. Moran unwrapped the package, and inside he found an old pot, cracked and broken in two. "What is this pot?" he asked. "And why did you not wait for me like I asked you to?" And finally Anara spoke, and she said to Moran, "I made this pot for you, my dear Moran, when you left, because I wanted it to be my marriage gift to you. But when many, many years passed, I finally realized that you did not love me the way I loved you, and to live hoping otherwise would be death." "But I want to marry you," cried Moran. "I came back." But Anara just nodded at the broken pot in Moran's hands and said, "Like an old pot that is left without care, a heart may break in two, and a broken heart can never be mended." And so Anara turned away, never to speak with Moran again, and Moran's heart, like the pot that was left untended, broke in two, because absence makes a heart brittle. This was the tale of homecoming, my tale, and I told it in my own words as told to me by my teacher, and as I will tell it to my student when the time comes.
Bye, Nima.
Goodbye, April.
A tale of love that isn't focused on or worked on will break. No wonder there's a lot of divorces these days. Anyway, let's talk to the Watchman again. This guy is voiced by Frank Rivers. You've heard him before. He's Quaman.
Who would visit the teller?
Quaman and all the other guys.
Are you ready for the questions now?
Sure, but I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna falsely do them this time. So
Yes, ask me the questions.
In the Tale of Winds, which mountain did Iwana fall from? in her vain attempt to fly higher and further than anyone else.
I said it's the third option no matter what, but I'm going to choose the fake, false options every time, so.
Mount Everest?
That is wrong. Pay attention to the tale that is told to you, and do not return until you know it by heart.
Okay, and he just says the same thing for the rest of them, so he just says you're wrong, so, okay.
Are you ready?
Alright, let's answer them right this time. Yeah,
Yes.
you could...
In the tale of...
You could just basically purposely... and you could actually just keep doing it wrong until you choose the right answer, so...
I have no idea.
Then you should pay more attention to the tale next time. Come back when you are prepared, and not before.
I'll only do this once.
Are you ready?
So...
Yes.
In the tale of...
Mount Kilimanjaro?
That is wrong.
Okay, well anyway. I'm gonna stop doing that now.
Yes.
In the...
Mount Bactaana, the Tower of Light.
That is correct. In the Tale of Stars, what did Mona see in the sky that helped her find her way home?
Stars, an airplane, I couldn't tell you.
The spirits of 5 tellers.
That is correct. In the Tale of Sea, what creature did the Lost One battle in his quest to recover the sacred jewel?
Snapjaw, one of the Aram, who knows?
The Octawo?
That is correct. My final question to you is this. In the Tale of Homecoming, what was given to Moran by his teller when he returned from his pilgrimage?
A kiss, a homecoming party, sorry, I don't know.
A broken pot, to teach him that absence may break a heart in two.
You have correctly answered all my questions, and so have proven your knowledge of the 4 tales. You are the Windbringer. The teller would see you presently.
Finally, but I do like listening to tales, so I didn't mind it too much, but
He's guarding
still.
the entrance to the tower.
Yeah. You know, you don't have to leave, but I'm just gonna stand here. You don't have to talk to me anymore. Interesting side note, the game crashed on me when I entered inside there, so I had to do the whole section all over again. I don't remember this game being that buggy. It could be the scum engine I'm using, I don't know. But anyway, there's the teller herself.
She's the teller. She must be over 100 years old.
The teller is voiced by Helen Stenberg, who voiced the old woman at the very beginning of the game. She did mainly minor roles in her days. She's well known for Enchanted, The Bonfire of the Vanities, 3 Days of the Condor, and Marvin's Room. Other than that, just smaller roles. Sadly, she passed away back in 2011, so you will be missed. But anyway, we'll enjoy your performance here.
Come closer, human. Closer. I cannot see your face. Closer still. Come sit here by me. There you are. You see, my eyes are not what they used to be. Ages ago, I could spot a ladybug crawling up a straw of grass from 15 tree lengths up. Now, I have a hard time seeing my supper. But my ears, balance be praised, my ears, they are as good as ever. I could hear you outside, learning the tales my children tell. You are a good listener and a fast learner.
They were interesting stories, and your people told them well.
That is what we do. The elation are the keepers of the tales, and I am their teller, the one who must know all the tales told since the day we came to this world.
How can you do that? How can you remember every story ever told?
The secret is to tell them often and to tell them in your own words, not the words of your ancestors.
Doesn't that mean that the stories change with every generation?
Yes, as all tales must. Change is important. Otherwise the tales will have no meaning to us. They will just be words, and we do not care about the words. We care about what the words tell us.
Huh. You make a good point there. I am the Windbringer. She's like, okay, and what about that? So.
How long have your people been telling stories?
Since the beginning, human. Since we came to this world a long, long time ago.
You're not from Earth? From Arcadia?
Not according to our tales. We came on a great wind before the divide, when the earth was one and humans had yet to learn of magic and science. But we were a different people then, and the tales we tell from that time are vague and incomplete. Like myths and legends, the younger elation pay little attention to these tales. Sometimes I worry they will be lost with me, these tales, and I am getting old, very old.
Yeah, I can see and smell that, lady.
I came to you to find answers to some important questions.
Ask, and I will try my best to answer.
You better not be vague.
Have you heard of an ancient god or dragon that lives beneath the sea?
Once, long ago, when my people lived in harmony with the Merim, there were stories of an old god worshipped by the Merim who resided deep in the darkest depths of the ocean. According to legend, the old god had once brought the Merim into their realm, into the ocean, and he was now sleeping, resting before the journey back.
Back where?
To a great ocean amongst the stars. When the time came, he would gather the Merim and bring them home with him, back to their world, to their ocean. Strangely enough, we have a similar tale. It is said that the great wind that brought us here will someday return to bring us back to a place where we can soar forever on warm winds.
Like heaven.
In a way, perhaps, but without the need for any of us to die. The great wind will just sweep us up and carry us away. Every evening before I go to sleep, I recite this tale to myself. It is a comforting one.
Yeah, I love being comforted by tales. Kind of like when your mom sings bedtime songs to you when you're a child.
What do you know about the Dryad kin?
The kin are numbered 4, or so our tales tell. 2 in this world, 2 in the other. The mirror world. The white and the blue, the red and the green.
Do you know where they are?
No, the tales never say. The kin are elusive. They keep to themselves. I have never seen one myself, and I doubt any of my kind has. The tales do say that our past and our future are tied to the fate of the kin. But how, I would not pretend to know. This is one tale that is yet to be told.
Do you know anything about the Guardian's realm?
This is human business. Would you not know more than I?
Your people are the keepers of the tales. You remember more than humankind has forgotten. Please, I need to hear what you know.
That is very little. The Guardian's realm is home to the Guardian in his tower. No one is permitted within except the Guardian who was, the Guardian who is, and the Guardian who will be. And of course the Dryad kin, who were instrumental in its making.
Have you ever heard of the existence of a hidden entrance to his realm?
Oh, yes. Yes, I have heard tell of such a thing, though I would not know where it is. I gather that one of the kin may be able to tell you.
Thank you. I don't have any more questions.
I am glad I could help you with some answers.
I'm the Windbringer.
I know you are. It's strange to me to hear those words spoken. I did not think they would be in my lifetime. But here you are, standing in front of me as real as the sky is blue.
I'm sorry I have to ask, but what is it that the Windbringer is supposed to do for you?
I did not expect you to walk in here and have all the answers, child. The balance has both blessed you and cursed you, and it has sent you here to do what it wills. The Windbringer is said to be the first sign of the great wind that will take us away from here. For a long time, the elation have lost the strength they used to have. Our bones have become weak, and our wings fragile. Where we used to be able to soar for days on strong winds, we are now using our legs to walk rather than fly. Why this is, we do not know.
10 yen.
You know of the reason for this?
I'm just guessing, but it makes sense. Go on.
The tales also say that the Windbringer will unite us with our past and end the age-old strife.
I know. You must make peace and be reunited with the Merum. You share a common ancestry.
I have always thought we did. The tales were too similar, the signs clear. But my people, they will have a difficult time understanding why and how this can be.
If you don't, both the Elation and the Merum will die out. When war broke out between your people and you were forced to move up into the mountains, it compromised a precarious symbiosis. A substance called tanyan was abundant where the Merum and the Elation lived in close proximity. It brought fish and heat and light to both your people. But now, living up in the mountains, your way of life, your diet, your customs and habits, they've all changed. And that's probably the cause of your brittle bones and fragile wings.
Then we must make peace with the Merum and restore the balance between us, so as to strengthen us both and prepare us for the journey that will surely come soon. When our sitting is over, I will speak to my people, and I will elect one representative from the Elation to meet with the Merum in the place of your choosing to open a dialogue.
I guess it's time for you to talk to your people and for me to make arrangements with the Merum.
Where do you wish for our meeting to take place, Windbringer?
You want me to decide? Well, I know. Send your ambassador down to the ancient caves by the beach. Inside, there are remnants of an old Elation settlement and a Merum city. It's a good place for your two people to meet, don't you think?
Yes. And could you ask if they would bring their half of the stone?
The stone? You have the other half?
We have held on to it for centuries, knowing that someday it would be of use to the Windbringer.
It will, trust me.
Then we must make haste and arrangements. It is an important day, so let us not waste light. Go and wait for my ambassador in the caves.
Alright, time for us to merge these two people together after centuries. It only took us like an hour or so. Not bad, not bad.
It's amazing. This place is so beautiful. And the scent of sea and rock and nest. This scent is of home. This was home a long, long time ago, according to the tales. We lived in peace with the with the Merum back then.
Now you'll be able to live in peace again. And with the tanyan bringing fish to your doorstep, you'll be able to eat well and restore strength to your bones. Soon you might even be able to soar on the winds for days like you used to do.
I hope you are right, Windbringer. And I hope that the Merum will see the sense in it too. They are coming, are they not?
They said they would. Hush, I hear something.
We are here, Waterstiller, as was promised.
Good. Now, as representatives of your respective peoples, you, the Queen of a Merum city, and you, guard to the Elation Teller, must fulfill the prophecy and join the two parts of the one stone.
We hope that our peoples may be joined again, Elation, and that we may live in peace and prosper.
As do we, Merum, and we pledge to do all we can for this to happen. The stone is now whole, Windbringer, and the Elation and the Merum will once again be as one. You may take it with you.
Thank you. The both of you.
Come now, April, and we will take you to our sleeping god. May his wisdom guide you and lead you down the right path.
Alright, we find ourselves at the bottom of the trench to talk to a sleeping god. I wonder if he'll ask us if we're a god. Anyway, there's some diaries to read, but the episode's already long enough as it is, so I'll do that next episode.
That's a weird rock. It just doesn't look natural.
It's not natural.
The sand is covering something. I'm so deep now, I really should have been crushed by the pressure, but I feel fine. Wet, but fine.
It's magic.
I'll worry about my appearance later.
Oh, okay.
That's a weird rock.
Okay.
The sand...
Ooh.
It's some kind of organic sensor. Feels more like a shell than a rock. I don't think it's a rock. I think it's alive.
Oh, wow.
It's a large shell. I wonder how deep it goes and what it contains.
Lavos, is that you? Not quite, but, you know.
It's soft and spongy.
Okay, anyway, we need to talk to this thing.
Hello? Is anybody in there? Spooky. Well, I guess it's an invitation of sorts.
Alright.
It's soft.
Okay, well, anyway. Yeah, we find this large orifice here. So let's go in that thing.
There's air in here. And it's dry. I swear I'm never taking a bath again. That doesn't look like a natural protrusion. It's too big and round.
It looks like a, you know.
It looked like a
Okay, anyway.
I know you. Do not be afraid. I know what you are.
You do?
Yes. Yes. What would you hear? I do not like to be disturbed. I wish to be left alone. I wish to rest until the day of ascension.
I didn't realize we were going to be talking to some Cthulhian horrors there. I'm sorry to disturb you, but I need some answers.
Some things are more important than your nap time.
There are always things more important. But I do not care. That is why I am down here. In the deep. Away from the worlds. The affairs of man are no concern of mine.
That's a fine attitude. Just bury your head in the sand and let the world pass you by, huh? That way you can spend eternity in blissful ignorance and solitude.
I do not mind being alone. I like the silence. What do you want from me?
Just some questions is all.
Then ask. And be gone.
Yeah, the guy has all the time in the world. You'd think he wouldn't care either way, but I guess he just likes sleeping.
What am I?
What do you mean?
You said you know what I am. What am I?
You do not know. Then it is not I who should teach you about your heritage. You must make this discovery on your own.
Listen, I'm tired. I'm wet. I'm at the bottom of the sea, and I'm breathing with the help of a polyp stuck in my esophagus. So just cut the Buddhist bullshit about a journey of self-discovery and answer my question. Please?
Your question has already been answered. That is all I will tell you. Your journey began with an answer. It is only now that you know the question.
That's so not helpful, but thank you.
This is the ultimate answer is 42, but what's the question to the ultimate answer? Questions. But anyway.
I'm looking for a jewel called the Dragon's Eye.
Yes. I have one such jewel.
I guess that's it.
Take it.
Are you sure?
Take it. It is yours now. It is part of your destiny.
Okay. Tell me if it hurts.
I guess not.
What is the day of Ascension?
The day when the kin return home. When my siblings come to me. And we rise toward the stars. For our journey back to our cradle. This is the day of Ascension.
So you're going back to wherever it is you came from?
We will, eventually, when everything is ready.
When what's ready?
I will not answer that question. It is not necessary for you to know.
I need to know where I can find the gateway to the Guardian's realm.
So you come to me.
They told me, well, they as in the few people who could tell me anything at all, they told me that if anyone would know, it'd be you.
I know. When the Earth was divided, there was a doorway left open where the tower was built.
But it's moved, hasn't it? That spot. When Stark and Arcadia were created, that spot moved somewhere else.
Into the sky. Amongst the stars.
But where?
I knew you were coming. Your journey has not been a quiet one. Even down here, I could hear you. I speak with the dark people. They are my messengers. They have prepared a map for you with the entrance you are looking for.
You knew I was coming and why? Then, okay, I know this is probably a futile question, but why didn't you send the dark people to me earlier? You could have saved me a lot of time and hard work.
You are afraid of time and hard work.
No, but it's the principle of it, isn't it?
No, it is not. You had prophecies to fulfill. You had a purpose. Bringing my children together in preparation. This was important. And for that, I thank you. Now,
You said something about a map?
The dark people have it. They will meet you. I will bring you to them.
What? Now?
Yes. Hold on.
Alright, now we found the dark people themselves. So, this we're going to get quite a bit of answers are. So, oh boy, it's all come to this, huh?
The ship is enshrouded in a thick fog, very mystic-like. It looked like a...
Okay.
I can't see where we're going through that fog. I can't see the face, but I think it's a man. A tall man wearing a dark cloak. He's one of the dark people, whatever they are.
Organization 13, is that you? Oh wait, no, it doesn't have enough zippers. Never mind.
It's one of the dark people. Thanks for taking me on board.
Who are you?
Oh, well, I thought you... I mean, didn't the old dragon... Well, I'm April Ryan, from Stark, and I guess you're a dark person.
But who are you?
I'm just a student. Not anybody special.
You are special. Who are you?
I'm not. I'm just... I'm the Windbringer. I'm the Water Stiller. I'm April Bondu Mbata of the Banda and the Venar Kangang La. I'm a shifter. I will someday become the 13th Guardian, the protector of the balance. And I'm April Ryan. This is who I am.
Yes, that is who you are. And you are a wave.
Hey, ho, I am a wave. Wait, what?
Why am I, a wave?
You have a purpose. You play an important part in the cosmos. A wave is someone who propels people and events toward change, towards the future.
And that's what I do?
You are a wave. There are ripples from your passing, and they spread wide and far. Those ripples will never die down. The worlds will be changed by your journey.
You're telling me that everything I do affects the universe?
You cannot escape it. You are a wave.
That's heavy, Doc. Alright, so after this, this next question, basically everything gets answered, and we set ourselves up for the end of the chapter. So what else is he going to tell us? Are we done with Arcadia? What's going on with Stark? Find out what happens in Chapter 9 of The Longest Journey. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.
The ancient dragon, the blue of the Drake kin, told me you had a map for me.
A map of stars, yes. It was made for you in our library, and given to me to hold. It is yours now. Keep it well. It is the only one.
I'm looking for an ancient stone given to you by the Sentinel, the Fathers.
You came for the stone. Of course we have it with us. Our ship would not have been chosen to meet you were it not for the stone we carry with us.
Everybody's just waiting around for me to show up, so that they can give me stuff. Who knew adventuring was going to be this easy?
It will not always be so easy. Of that I can assure you. But here is our stone. We entrust it to you, as we were instructed to do when the Fathers first entrusted it to us.
Can this ship take me back to Marcuria? I mean, would you mind?
We will bring you to Marcuria henceforth. It will take the night, but we will be there at first light.
That's fine. Thanks a lot.
You are free to rest here, to sleep, while we travel. The flames will keep you warm, but do not move too far away. My brothers are not friendly with outsiders. They do not take kindly to intrusion.
I'll keep that in mind. I'm staying right here.
Good. Sleep.